to really secure your market share. And today, in a shrinking market, it's all about how we can increase our market share so we can get more of the business. There's a smaller pie out there. How can we get more of it? And the best way to get more of it is through referrals. And to get referrals in this current market, we need to add a lot of value, because value is what sets us apart in this marketplace. In a transactional market, and the market has been very reactional. If we look, most brokers have had increases of up to 40% over the last 2 years through COVID. It's been a real godsend. But as the market changes, and we've just had another rate rise, and with potentially more predicted in the future, it's going to come now around value, because you've got a number of different types of clients out there, and what they value at this time changes, right? In times of uncertainty, people sort of, their needs come back, and some people are going to need security. And as a broker, how do we provide that security? And security comes from trust. And trust comes from frequency of contact, right? So it may be that you're increasing your contact with your clients. There are some people that are going to know there's options available as potentially to create wealth in a down market. They take the old Warren Buffett, that be greedy when people are fearful. And be fearful when people are greedy. So some people, understand the market economics and just understand that this is a cycle that we're going through. So they really, at this time, they want leadership. The value that they want is leadership. And then there's going to be those ones that are sort of sitting on the fence, right? So through quality conversations and deep questioning, we're going to understand their needs and challenge their way of thinking. If we can challenge their way of thinking, it will allow them to see opportunities that they may not have thought were there. And that's the benefit of really being a relationship-based broker that's focused on value. So if we can do that in this market, we're going to be a lot more referable. We're going to have deeper conversations, and we're going to understand our clients' needs a lot more. And this is really what comes at the heart of being referable, is understanding your value on a much deeper level. So, knowing the value that you provide. So your first thing that you need to do, one is, decide that, I want to be that referral-based business. I want to add a deeper level of value. And then we've got to look at ways that we can be referable. And to be referable, we need to be able to articulate the value that we offer in the marketplace. So whether that's to our clients or whether that's to referral partners, how are you articulating this value, especially in this marketplace, to take your market share? And let's face it, in this market, from a broker's perspective, there's up to 75% of the market is being done by mortgage brokers. So the brokers that take the lion's share and take the market share are the people who double down, invest, and the people who pivot to focus on the value that they're providing in the marketplace. So to be referable, you need to, hang your hat on that value that you're providing, so you can be referable. And you need to have a plan, right? In our program, we talk a lot about the value of service and creating a process, something that I work a lot with my elite clients. I've just come off the back of a road trip where I've done a couple of full day sessions where we map out each step of the process and deliver an outstanding customer experience that is second to none, and that gives the brokers a strategic advantage. It gives them sort of value. But that's sort of upper level. Most brokers need to come down a level now, so they're not winging the most important thing in their business, in that is creating referrals or creating that steady flow of leads. And it comes back to a system, right? It comes back to a system, a sales system. To create referrals, you've got to think about, well, what's that system to create the referrals that I want to create, so I'm not actually winging it. So I'm actually being able to add that real value. So how do I go about adding value? Well, first you've got to decide in terms of who do you really want to serve? Who are those clients that you love dealing with, and who are those clients that you can add the most value to? Because if you decide that, then you can really focus on your system in terms of how do you present the knowledge and challenge the people in that market so you can attract those clients. For example, for me, I had a number of different sort of referral sources. I started off with first home buyers back in the day when I was young, 27, 28, in the franchise there at Parramatta. And Parramatta was a huge first home buyer market. And a bit like today, first home buyers aren't affected as much by the rate increases because they don't have a mortgage at the moment. They just take the rate for what it is. All they want is to get into a home, to secure a property for them and their family. They're in it for the long haul. So first home buyers, we're seeing a lot of inquiries, and it's a good market to be in at the moment, right? So if you want to add value to a first home buyer, you need to be an expert in everything first home buyer. So whether that be product, whether that be the credit knowledge, whether that be the buying process, understanding their needs in detail, to be able to position yourself as the expert and be referable. Right? So how can you be the expert? And then with that, who is the people that are going to be able to give you those types of referrals? And when we look at it, it's a team sport, right? So, you've got real estate agents is an obvious choice. You've got conveyancers. You've got other people with networks, whether that be, say, a property manager with their rent roll. Back in the day, my focus was first home buyers. So we would partner with some bigger real estate agents in the area, and we would do joint events, and they would actually market to the rent roll and the list, because we know they all own property, and quite often multiple properties. If they own properties on a rent roll, they've got an investment property. So those clients are ideal not for themselves but for their kids, right? And quite often, the bank of mum and dad is a big area to get first home buyers, and so you market to the parents to actually get the kids, right? So by having those real estate agent and property managers on our team allowed us to add more value in terms of by focusing on it and making it a strategy of ours. How can we add value in this market, lead with knowledge, and which is going to actually lead to referral business? So if we can do that, it gives us that point of difference. It really allows us to go deeper, be the expert, and add real value to our niches. So when we look at it, let's look at ways that we can create a referral-based business. And I've got a handout if you want the guide in terms of how to get referrals in this market. It's called the Referral Business Builder. Just type builder in the chat and I'll make sure you get a copy of the guide. And it's great because the guide goes through looking at this market in terms of the different ways that you can focus on to get referral business. And so let's have a look at just some of the areas that you can focus on. And in chatting with one of my elite clients last week, and they're on track to do $30 million a month in settlements and hit a big number, right? And because they've been a little bit reactive and haven't had to need to rely on customer referrals, they haven't been as proactive in asking for referrals. But now the market is shifting. There's a real opportunity, because they have those deep relationships and a big book, is to actually position and ask their clients for referrals. And a lot of brokers don't even put any thought into how to ask for referrals. So it's something in our programs we go into a lot of detail and provide the scripts, the dialogues, in terms of how you ask. So I want you to think about, in your business, what is your way that you are comfortable with, that feels authentic to you, to ask for a referral? And the best time to ask for a referral, when do you think that is? So use the moments of power when a client is at their peak and they're saying thank you. So when they're saying thank you to you is the perfect time to ask for a referral. So normally the highest point is at the formal approval stage, or maybe it's just after you've done a pricing for them or something. Because a lot of us, when a client says thanks, will go, oh gee shucks, the Aussie way, it was nothing. When you've been paddling like a duck underwater to get that loan approved, and the work that you and your team have done has been so much. So it's really the perfect time to be able to ask and get that referral business. So some of the other ways that you can focus on getting referrals. Obviously, referral partners, and we've spoken about that previously, and I've done sessions and recordings on that topic. So it's something I cover in detail in my program, but there's a whole strategy behind it. Do you have the system to build a referral partner? From getting that sort of warm introduction to identifying who the ideal referral partner is for you, and identifying the value that you can add, not just on a client level, but on a business level, and then creating the contacts in terms of what you need to do to get that steady flow of referrals. Next is around your friends, relatives, and colleagues and neighbours. They're a perfect source for you to focus on to get referral-based business. The number one thing that I say to new brokers, focus on that first. Then your current prospects. Quite often we've got inquiries that haven't gone anywhere. That's a perfect opportunity to touch base in this current market to see and just get curious to see what you can do and if you can add value in this market. Who are your competitors? One of the guys on my Momentum program was talking today. He had a relationship with an equipment finance broker. He didn't do home loans, and there's a big opportunity to work together as a team to create a solution and add value for their clients. So think of the different networks that you're currently involved in. For me, I played rugby for many, many years, and I coached my son's rugby, and I got a lot of business just through being part and being active in the rugby club. So the networks that you've got and that you're already a part of are perfect ways to get business. Then think about, if we go then down more of the social side in terms of the different Facebook groups, is there any niches that you're a part of there? LinkedIn is a perfect one that can sort of, especially if you use something like Sales Navigator, you can really target on who you want to focus on. And then look at industry leaders and what they're doing, because they have a certain amount of influence. So if you can get on their podcasts and talk about your area of expertise, maybe reply to their articles, get involved, find out the people who have those big lists and networks that you can get in front of. Also, have a look at potentially a business group. Scott and I, who's my brother and business partner in the broking business, were always part of business groups. So not only does it give you a great network, and networks allow you to do business, but also to get business, right? You shouldn't go with the focus to get business, but it'll make it much easier for you to get a broader understanding of how to do business. But then as a side benefit, you'll get lots of business from it. And, so I think that will give you an understanding of, some of the sources that you can focus on to create a referral-based business. And again, if you want the guide, just type builder in the chat and I'll make sure you get a copy of this particular guide. The guide also goes through some different ways that you can make this part of your process. We spoke about the $1 billion loan process. We talk about building that delivery system. Are you maximizing the opportunities for everyone that is in the transaction, whether they be the real estate agent, conveyancers, accountants, financial planners, etc.? We come in contact with a lot of people through the transaction. We want to be making every post a winner. And also, focusing when we're doing the annual reviews with your clients. And if you missed the last session, go back and review the session on annual reviews where I talk about that option a lot more in detail. So in summary, in this market, there's a couple of things that we need to do. One, we need to decide that we want to be a referral-based business. Two, we have to really assess the market in terms of who we're talking to and what are their needs. Is it security? Is it opportunity? Or do they need to be led? And then if we can lead with value, then that will allow us to be referable. Once we really understand what our value is, then that'll allow us to have better conversations, and we can then ask the questions and get curious to see what we can do in the marketplace at the moment, which is going to allow us to not only just to grow, but it's able us to be a market authority and create market share. I'm Ross LeCain, the founder of the $1 Billion Broker, and my goal is to help you create that profitable business that you're proud of. Until next time, I'll see you later.